Hey everyone, this is a proposal slash video on the Wild 6 CRM that we install for all of our clients, at least most of our clients. And what we end up doing is we end up installing this CRM and project management piece as a general template, and then we customize it to your use case. We change a few labels, we change the groups, we align it to your use case in your specific business. The reason why we do this, because we have found that most people, when they're looking for CRMs and project management systems, that they're looking for the same thing pretty much. It's just they're wanting about 90, or they're wanting about 5 to 10% of that custom. So that is what we designed here. And so I'm going to showcase this for you today. Just a brief overview on what we provide for all of our clients. So what you're going to get when you get the CRM from Wild 6 is you're going to get Monday.com's CRM template. And then if you go ahead and you purchased what I call project boards, or boards that are post sales, like after you've actually sold something, now you have a project to actually complete and do for the project, for the customer that you have just sold to. We call those project boards. And so depending on how many project boards that you are needing, or the types of projects that you are managing, will determine the type of project that we design for you. So the project piece is a little bit of a factor, because typically if we're doing construction companies, we recommend using what's called a board that we use every time that project is done. So for example, if you're ready to work on a house that you just purchased and you're ready to renovate it, well, usually there's like 100, sometimes 200 different items that actually need to be done for that construction project, right? So it ends up being a large project with demolition, construction, electrical, flooring, painting, roofing, all that kind of stuff, right? With projects that are being completed for most of our clients, they usually can get away with one project board. And so that one project board then usually has the service in which you are providing for your customer after they've purchased it in your sales or your pipeline board, and it converts over to here for you to actually have a deliverable for that service that the person just purchased. Other times we definitely have other clients that we definitely provide for too, where we have multiple projects, meaning each project board is more of like a production. Meaning you have project board 1 that is for a marketing service that you're providing for a customer. Project board number 2 is for, emailing, or what a better would be for SEO. So you can have multiple project boards that are more for production, also known project. So just in your company, but most of the time, just having one or sometimes 2 project boards is more than enough for our customers. So what you're going to get is you're going to get your leads board that has a place where you can manage all of your leads that are coming in, a place for you to create a contact, create an account at the lead level. A couple other things that are going to happen once the lead does come in. We have automations written with Monday.com that check to see if the contact is here, meaning check to see if the contact already exists, and if it does, it shows up here. Check to see if the account already exists. If it does, it shows up here. Our goal behind creating a solution like this is to just use Monday, right? There's a lot of consultants out there and Monday.com gurus that want to get Zapier, Make.com. They want to get all kinds of other apps and stuff like that for you to buy into, which is great. Sometimes you definitely need to have that. But I would say our specific niche is to be able to provide you the most out of just Monday.com. Now, before I continue, please know that you do need to have the CRM for this, and you need to at least have the Pro account. The reason why you want the Pro account is because you're going to be able to utilize things like the goal widget. You're going to be able to utilize things like the pipeline conversion rate, the leaderboard. So there's certain things that are only unique to the CRM that you're really going to need, and only unique to the Pro account. The other reason that you need the Pro account is because it has enough automations for just about anybody. And what I mean by that is every time you hit an automation or you want something automated from one board to the next or one group to the next or a notification, that counts as one automation towards your plan. Now, with all the other plans in Monday.com, like pro, or not pro, but standard, basic, it's all like 250 automations or less. With the pro account, you get 25,000 automations, which most of the time is more than enough for most clients, whether it's just one or two people in your business or up to 10. The only time that I think that you want to start entertaining things like the enterprise version where you get 250,000 automations is if you have probably 15, maybe even 20 people, and there's a lot of automations that you're using. So to go on, so we have a place where you can create that account, that contact. An account is typically more like a company, a place where it moves the lead up and down your lead pipeline, a place where you can put your services, like what kind of service are they purchasing or what kind of service are they interested into. We have a couple things like reminder date, reminder notes, typical things, email, phone number, country, city, location, comments, a place for your inquiry number, like if someone's inquiring, you have a unique number that you would like to put as a lead, put that there. Place for files, links, and a company website. We also do provide a few other things that other consultants don't do. We provide what's called a lead counter, which just is counting all the leads that are coming up, and a customer acquisition cost, meaning when a lead comes in from Google, what's your average cost that it took for you to get that lead in? What's your CPL, right? Maybe it costs on average $3.50 to bring in a lead from Google, and it costs $1.50 from Instagram. And so the purpose behind this is not so much exact accuracy, but it is more of like an average, like, hey, around how much is it costing us for cost per click? And so that's where we have these things that we enter in as automations, right? We also have a place for how many days was a lead in the leads board before it was either lost or moved over to the deals / pipeline board. So this is part of our counting. We want to know how long was a lead in here before it possibly converted over to a sale. And then once it gets to the sales, we want to know how long it took for it to go from sale to won or lost. So part of this is calculating how many days it takes to get a lead all the way from the beginning all the way to the end until you've delivered the service that they purchased. Okay. Going over to accounts and contacts, this stuff is all more of like repositories that feed into your lead board and your pipeline board. I'll get more into these two boards here in a second. You have your activities board that is a place for you to store all of your to-dos and your meetings that you've had with clients that you're working with them in the leads. You want to set a reminder for yourself that, hey, I need to make sure I follow up on XYZ on this specific item. I want a reminder for that. Great. Okay, so that's what the activities board for is, a place really for a dumping ground for logging items, tasks, activities regarding leads, regarding accounts, contacts, pipelines. And you can even do it for your projects as well. Okay, so basically like these boards feed into the activities board. So think of it, like I said, as a funnel place for feeding in tasks. Okay, last but not least, well, not last, but the part where it comes into the pipeline. So when a lead is done and you guys are ready to move it over to a potential sale deal or to your sales pipeline, it's going to come to a place called the new deal. And this is a landing pad for a lead to come in so that you can comb through that new deal that came in. What do I mean by that? Well, I like to say, let's set them up, meaning let's make sure we have the name right, who's going to be the salesperson or the owner, or who is the salesperson, what's the sub-stage at. A lot of people like to just do a stage. I like to do a sub-stage as well. Like, hey, this is new, but what are we doing? We need to send an email, or we're setting this new deal up. Do we have the right services, or are we upping them? Like, they were interested in service 1, but hey, now they're interested in service 2 and 3 because we had a meeting with them. This is a place for us to lock in maybe an expected close date, a deal value, what's the reminder date, reminder notes. What this is meaning is like, hey, I want to be reminded on the 7th, this Thursday on the 7th, and this is the notes I want to be reminded of. So the 7th comes, Monday.com sends you a notification up in the bell that you can't see right here because I'm in template editor, but it'll send you a notification that says, hey, item in the pipeline named testing, you wanted a reminder for today. Here are the notes that you wanted to be reminded of. So the goal of this landing pad in the pipeline is to be able to set up your deal correctly, making sure you have the deal amount right, any files associated with it. Do we have the forecast value correct, right? Is the lead connected to the deal? And we want that to be the case, because what's going to happen is when a lead comes over here and maybe this new person in the pipeline gets to close one, we have Monday.com that's going to add up how long were they in the lead stage and how long were in the pipeline stage before it was closed one, so you can get an average start to finish rate with all of your clients or potential clients. Again, lead source coming in from the leads board. Moving on, I do have a main table view that's hiding a lot of things, but I'm going to go over to main table so I can show you some other things that we've added. We've even added down here formula columns that calculate how long was the deal, this new deal, in new deals before it went over to discovery. How long was it in the discovery phase before it went to kickoff? How long was it in kickoff before it went to proposal? How long was it into proposal before we went to negotiation and ultimately closed one? This is going to feed into a sales dashboard all the way over here that's going to be able to tell you. That's right. Hold on one second. Right. Oh, right here. So, like, how it's going to tell you the average day, like how long was it in discovery, kickoff, how long did it take to go from negotiation to closed one. I mean, this is really powerful thing, so we can pinpoint what our greatest opportunity is. We could see like, wow, it takes us the longest to get a proposal sent. Well, that's not good. Let's get proposals out sooner or later, So moving on back over to the pipeline. And ultimately, we're going to be able to track how long as well did you spend on that customer? Meaning, how many hours at what hourly rate did we spend on that customer? It may be a ballpark, but the purpose of this is to be able to get total customer acquisition costs. How much did it cost for us to get the lead? How much time did we spend on that customer and phone calls and all that kind of stuff, texting, emails, and then times maybe the company's average hourly rate. Hey, it took us $150 to get this to closed one. And maybe we only sold the customer a $200 item. Well, we need to work on that. Maybe we need to figure out like, why is it taking us so long to get from lead all the way to close one? And man, we're not selling them very much, and so hey, we're losing a lot of money. There's not a lot of gross profit in that. So that's the purpose behind this. And so what this does is that there is a calculator in here that is adding the hours times hourly rate times spent, and then plus it's calculating, or it's adding the cost per lead that we got from the leads board. It's adding this in here too. All right. So once a deal gets closed one into this stage, it's going to get kicked off over to our new projects. And what's great about this is that this is just kind of a whole nother workflow of new projects, active projects, and completed projects. Certain information from the pipeline comes over here from the pipeline to fill in fields, files, links, that sort of thing, for you to track your projects ultimately. Okay, let's go back to contacts. So what's really nice about the contacts is we've added a few things in here that's called the responses, meaning how long did it take, or what was the open date, when did they reply back, and when did we send something, when did we send a response back. And it calculates these dates so that we could say what's the days between the last response and the last reply date of this customer. The purpose is that, if we see that, hey, they replied, or, we responded to them, but we haven't heard back from them in 10 days or something. We have this past 30-day no contact. Like, hey, it's been 30 days since we've heard back from them. Let's come over here and find out, what customers have we not reached out to in the past 30 days. That's what this is for. So that's part of the contacts board. Okay. The other things that we've added in here as well, let's go back to the sales dashboard, is the customer acquisition costs, as well as, coming down here, monthly and annual recurring revenue. So this calculates this doesn't necessarily add up like each month. It's just telling you how many accounts do you have in your accounts board that are on an annual recurring revenue, and how many accounts do you have in your accounts board that are on a monthly recurring revenue, and what's those total amounts. Coming over to the leaders dashboard, this is kind of like a sales dashboard, but it's for leads, meaning like how many new leads came in, how many total qualified leads do we have, how many leads are that are not qualified, what was the total ad spend, also known as that customer acquisition cost or your cost per lead, what was the average, and what was the average time spent in the leads board before it went over to a deal. Lead source, like what leads are coming in and the amount of money that we're spending on each of those leads. And then last but not least, just the lead source. This is a lead source calculated by cost, is a lead source calculated just by quantity. A lead conversion rate, meaning how many leads come in and actually convert over to an appointment. This is a leaderboard that breaks it down by sales rep or dialer. And that's it. So like I said, this is something that we offer all of our clients. This is our standard for Pro or Enterprise that we offer for all of our clients. Feel free to reach out to Wild 6 and book an appointment so we can install this into your Monday.com account today.